Hello, my name's Megan. This video is for all of the people who've been following along with my journey of all of the videos I've been sharing on my YouTube channel about all my health issues. So I haven't posted in a while. It's been about 6 months, and recently I have just been getting a lot of questions about how I'm doing, emails, DMs, Facebook messages, basically asking if prolotherapy on my cervical spine worked and if I'm still doing well. And so I just wanted to give an update for people who've been following along, potentially considering regenerative medicine as well, and have been using my journey kind of to gauge if they would want to consider it as well. So basically, yes, I'm doing great. The video I updated in August, about a while ago, about 9 months ago actually, I detailed my progress and I listed out all of the specific symptoms that prolotherapy cured me of. And going off that video, I just want to say that all of those symptoms are still gone. Since then, I've gotten 3 more prolotherapy treatments, so I've had a total of 11. The reason I got more was because I was in a car accident about 4 months ago. I had slight whiplash, I had minimal numbness and tingling in my face, and a few other symptoms that kind of came back. And so just to be sure that I did not relapse, if you will, I decided to go back to Caring Medical in Florida, and I got 2 treatments just kind of for security's sake. And since those 2 treatments, I've been doing really well. All of the symptoms that were gone in that larger update video are still gone. And so I just want to say that what prolotherapy cured me of symptom-wise has continued thus far, and I expect that it should continue for the rest of my life unless something happens, like I get in another accident or injure my neck through any various way. I also wanted to say I've talked about it at great lengths, but having craniocervical instability was never my only issue. I also have Lyme disease. I have the MTHFR gene mutation, which is pretty minor, but I've had a couple of things. So my journey of healing was never just to get prolotherapy. I am now treating my Lyme disease, and that's been going really great. I've decided not to share in length about that process because every case tends to be different, so I just recommend people to find a great Lyme literate doctor and just follow their regimen, basically. So yeah, I just wanted to say, if you've gotten to the point of, if you have craniocervical instability and you think it's from a virus, or you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or just something of the like, I would say, I think a lot of people generally don't just have craniocervical instability who were as severe as I was, from my experience and just from my knowledge base of the people I've come in contact with. But that is all anecdotal evidence, so take what I know for what you will, do with it what you will. But yes, I primarily shared prolotherapy in my experience with that because that covered the brunt of my healing. It took away 90% of my symptoms and kind of brought me back to life in a sense. So that's why I focused so much on sharing that experience. Yeah, that's a bit of how I'm doing. I'm doing great. I continue to just do better and better with time. I think prolotherapy, my first treatment was a little over a year ago, and it's known that it continues to work with time, and that's what I've been able to notice in my own life, that just as time progresses, I continue to get better and better. I will say, like I've said before, I'm doing other things like Lyme treatment and treating a couple other minor things, but it is my educated guess that it's not just those things that are continuing to help me improve, but also the prolotherapy that I got several months ago that is still working. So those are just my thoughts. I hope this is helpful, and I have nothing but good things to say about Caring Medical and Dr. Hauser. If you suspect you have craniocervical instability, I would go to them I would recommend getting evaluated, because just from my experience, that is what's helped me. So that is all that I can recommend. People have asked me to recommend other places, and I don't feel comfortable speaking about them because I haven't been there to the other places. So I really don't know if they will produce the same benefits and the same healing effects. I just can't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I believe that is all. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Oh, sorry, one more thing. So an approach that was really helpful for me, having multiple illnesses, this is what I wanted to share, was I went to a clinic in Mountain View, California, and it's called the Center of Complex Diseases. And they are the clinic that originally told me, you know what, Megan, we think you have craniocervical instability. And how they figured that out was we thought that I had myalgic encephalomyelitis, chronic fatigue syndrome. That diagnosis is a diagnosis by elimination. Through the process, we quickly realized that I likely had craniocervical instability. I went through the diagnostic criteria, figured out I did have it. But what was great about that clinic is that the doctor took a multifaceted approach. So she looked at everything. And she knew from the get-go, you probably just don't just have instability. You probably have some other things. So she figured out I had Lyme disease. She figured out I had POTS, that I had mast cell-like reaction. She figured out I had early markers for Sjogren's syndrome. She just did so much. And what was so helpful about that was that as I was treating my instability, I was able to start treating all of my other things. So that once I healed one thing, it wasn't like a domino effect of one thing was better, but other things were still wreaking havoc on my body. Her just wide approach, I think has allowed me to heal to the degree that I have. So my recommendation would be, if you think you have multiple illnesses or you're severely ill and disabled, try to find a clinic or a doctor that has a similar multifaceted type approach. That is all. I hope you guys are well, and if anyone has questions or just has anything to say, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to assist in the ways that I can.